Intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Switch.
This is Mostert. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
We got this.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the out. Side trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 28.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now a give, right side. Taylor. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Kyle Shanahan, an offensive mind, but his guys stopped up short. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on fourth down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
The numbers a week ago for Michel. 18 carries, 76 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Watch tight end.
They'll run it here. This is James White. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 27 yards there, a first down.
Now, back in my old days, before college, I played a little bit of offense. I used to love to pitch the ball to my backs. How about that pitch right on that play?
Yeah, going right. People run to the right more than to the left, don't they, in real life and in video games?
That is true. A lot of offenses constructed to run to the right side of the line of scrimmage. Those big tackles, usually your power blockers.
Here's Mostert. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
He's checking. Crash. He's crashed. Check safety.
Now Mostert. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On second down, it's Pollard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Now back to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice easy.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jake Ryan in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Deebo Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Now Luck says, let's get going, as he'll hustle him to the line. To throw again on second down. Luck. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. Play action. It's Luck.
Well, they can put him in a number of different places. In line, H-back, put him in the slot. In this case, they put him out wide. Matchup nightmare. Who are you going to send out to cover him? And he picks up a first down with that catch.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19. Back to throw. Luck. It's complete. James White. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. James White, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got a man open. It's Ross. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just... over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Second and 6. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's first and 10. They'll look to throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. This quarterback now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
This one fielded at the 5. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And it's the Dolphins who are out in front in the second quarter. Mark Ingram accounting for the lone scoring thus far as he's cashed in with a touchdown run. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And that one's at halftime with the visiting Lions out on top. 2 touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. The Browns hitting pretty 1 month in. Their 4-0 record, obviously the best in the NFL. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it First to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They'll run on first down. Taylor. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 33. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
After the interception, it's Lott. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target, and now it's second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Mostert. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Didn't have a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Pollard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 3rd down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Their mobile quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now a good running play here to start the drive. That'll net them 14 yards as they pick up the first. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quan Alexander in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Throwing is long. Caught by Sanu. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go on fourth. Luck got his man. That's Harry. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Luck now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Again, Luck. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. On second down, they'll run with White. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. A big play there for the Niners. 47 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
They'll look to throw now on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
As more and more up-tempo football creeps into the NFL game, some coaches don't think time of possession matters anymore. I believe we found one of them.
Now Gold for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. Here's Luck. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Love. He's got White here.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Gets this one to Juszczyk. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. On 2nd down, Pollard 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. He'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and of course this is a win they're going to hang their hat on. They go on the road and defeat the defending Super Bowl champs.
Partner, they came, they saw, they conquered.
They conquered.
But before all that happened with the conquering part, they believed. They've thought it all week. It was evident when we talked to them before the ball game that they thought they could get this done, and they knew exactly how, had a plan, formulated it, and then executed it. That's a big-time win to take down the defending Super Bowl champs.
So for San Francisco, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, the loss here will...
I just got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Down from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up.